Hello everyone. Today we are going to see ADP to QuickBooks Online entry. The areas we are going to focus is ADP and then Excel for doing our Recon and then entry in the QuickBooks. First is ADP. When we log into ADP, it will ask us about whether I am an accountant user. Obviously, I am an accountant user. And then it will ask me whether I have to connect to the accountant, and then I sign in and then enter my password. And then when you come here, this is the dashboard on the left side. Then you have clients, and then you have reports and tax forms. So I have to click reports and tax forms. And there are three reports which I need for doing this reconciliation and the data for that reconciliation. One is the payroll liability summary. Second one is payroll summary. And the third one is payroll detail by payroll. And then there are two options. One is PDF and one is Excel output. So we need both. Excel report makes our life easy for copying and pasting the values. And then you see on the right side below, there are options of how to run the report, either by month, quarter, year, check date, date range. If you're doing by check date, each payroll, you will get the detail. If you're doing by month, you can use the date range. So I'm going to use the date range. And the previous one is an option to do PDF or Excel. And then this is the Excel output, and this will be a PDF output. Okay. And then for each report, there is a purpose. So the three reports which we are going to use is the first one is payroll liability summary. And then what I'm going to get from that report is the employer taxes. And then the second report is the payroll summary. And then what I'm going to get from there is the total payroll expenses. This report is the total payroll expenses, the total of salaries, the total of the officer salaries, 1099, overtime, vacation, everything will be in one total. Okay. And then payroll detail by payroll, which means every payroll, and then each payroll will have the detail of how much is the salary, how much is the vacation, how much is the 1099, how much is the overtime. The officer salary, I have to manually divide it because based on the name of the owner of the S corp, but otherwise the report is not giving any breakup of salaries and officer salaries. We'll look into that when we enter the values from the reports. Now we are going to go into the Excel. The first one is the payroll liability summary, and then second one is the payroll summary, and the third one is the payroll by detail, and the date range is December 12/1 to 12/31. And then the output of payroll liability summary. Okay. If you see in the Excel file, it will be coming as tab. All the reports will come in each tab. The first tab is the payroll liability summary. The arrow mark is showing. And then if you see the period is also there, 12/4 to 12/31. And then what I'm going to get from there is the ER contribution, which means employer contribution, 13,526.48. And I have also prepared one Excel format file for myself to recon. And then in that file, I'm going to enter the value here, 13,526.48. And then there is another, we all know there is the second report, which is payroll summary. And then that payroll summary is having the total of 186,272.11. We need to reconcile to this amount. And if you see, there are like at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think nine payrolls run for the month of December, and the total is 186,272.11. And then the breakup is what you are going to see: salaries, officer salaries, 1099, vacation, overtime, and the total. And if you see payroll by detail, payroll detail by payroll, okay? On the first one, if you see on the left side, we have the date of payroll, which is 12/4/2024, and then the total is 13,777.65, and that is coming from the amount which is 13,277.65 and the 1099 compensation, which is $500. The total is 13,777.65. And then in my Excel Recon file, the first one is 12/4/2024, and if you see, the breakup is there. And then I'm going to jump into the Recon of only another file. And if you see from where that file, the values are coming to this file. Okay. The first one is the payroll detail by payroll report, and then 13,277 is the salaries and wages, and then the 500 is the 1099, and then the total is 13,777.65. Next we go to the another payroll, which is 12/27/2024. I have taken this because it has overtime also. Okay. Yeah, not overtime, vacation. Okay. So if you see, the 37,321.92 is on the salaries and wages, and then the 500 is on the 1099, and then 5,100 5,100.80, which is coming as a vacation, and the total is 42,922.72. So this is how we populate, and the total is coming to 186,272.11, which is the total from the payroll summary. So both are matching for us. Then what we have to do is next we have to go to QuickBooks. And the first thing in QuickBooks what we have to do is categorize bank account to third-party ADP account, and then run the profit and loss account and check the third-party ADP account. It should have values. And the third step is enter the journal entry using the Excel format data. And the fourth step is run the P&L account and check the third-party ADP account is 0 and payroll expenses are accounted. Let's go do that one. The first one is categorize bank to third-party ADP account. First, I go to the bank account, bank transactions, and then go to the pending. I filter by the custom dates, and then I enter ADP as search criteria, and I filter everything, and then I select. When I click on the date on the top, all the 26 transactions get selected. And then when I select that, the total comes to 87,706.66. And then instead of posting it, if I post it, everything will go under the different accounts. So what I have to do is I have to go and edit. When I edit, it gives me an option to enter the account for all the 26 transactions. So I enter payroll expenses, third-party payroll account, and then I click apply and post. Once I do that, all the 87,706.66 is accounted in the payroll expenses third-party payroll account. And then the next point is I run the P&L account and check the third-party ADP. You see that for that date, 12/31/2024, my payroll third-party expenses is 87,706.66. And then the third step is I have to go to my Excel Recon and then take all the details on the last column, which has the breakup of salaries and wages, officer salaries, 1099, vacation pay, if there is any overtime, then all those things. And then the total is 186,272.11. And then I have to enter that journal as in this format, and I enter the payroll as a name so that it gets categorized in the right way for reporting. Okay, and I have to credit the third party payroll account with the amount which I debited already. Okay, so that it becomes zero. The rest of the amount I have put as opening balance equity because right now there is some reconciliation problem going on. So till that point of time, I'm going to park that account in opening balance equity. Okay, so all the details which is there in my account, I have put that, use that data and to enter my journal. Be careful to use the right date and the way you, the format which you have used for other naming convention, use the same format for the naming convention for journal name. And then don't forget to enter the values for name. Okay, once I enter that and I save and post, um, or I think click save, whatever it is, then this gets posted into the QuickBooks. Now I run the payroll account, and when I see all the third-party payroll expenses is zero now. So this is how we do the ADP reports to QuickBooks journal entries. Thank you.